Hi, this is Dave, and the date today is December the 8th, 2021, and this is yet again another one of my videos documenting my um, intermittent fasting regime that regime, why do I keep saying regime? Regime is not a good word. Regimen. This is a video documenting my process of going through an intermittent fasting regimen and trying to lose a large amount of weight. I am on I'm on a journey here. I started on November 1st, and I weighed 403 pounds. As of December 1st, I weighed 372, so I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. And now we are in month 2 of the process, and I've decided to record these videos to kind of document my progress and eventually see if anybody ever actually ends up seeing them, to help them or to share my advice and my experience. So on this video, I'm going to discuss the fallout from my 88-hour fast and my refeed. So I mentioned in my previous video that I had decided to increase the length of my rolling fasts from 60 hours to 88. Originally I was planning 72, but time-wise the 88 made more sense. I managed to do the last little bit. Once I passed the 72 hours, I managed to do to pass the last few hours you're sleeping. So it's not really like I basically, I passed the 72-hour point at 10 p.m. So really the only sacrifice was that I didn't eat between 10 and around 1 when I went to sleep. So that's like 3 hours extra hours, right? And then I slept for like 6 hours, basically, and then I got up maybe around 8 on the morning, walked my dog, did some other chores around the house, and did some other stuff I had to do, and then basically started eating at 2 p.m. So that's the whole point of this video, is discussing issues with refeeds and how I'm planning on addressing them. Number one, the entire foundation of this process that I'm on, or the routine that I have selected, has a slogan that Cole Robinson originated with his snake diet. And it was kind of picked up and continued on with Jerome from Finally Fasting, and that is eat big, fast long, meaning that if you are a morbidly obese person and you can make it through a 72-hour fast, you can have a refeed day, and it really doesn't matter what you eat, because you have fasted for so long that you're going to lose weight regardless of what you eat on your feeding days. I believe that to be true. Now, I should mention that in the ensuing months and years since Cole Robinson developed that, like, he even recorded a video where he said you could actually, if you wanted, if you fast 72 hours on your refeed day, you can eat junk food, all the junk food you want. You can go to get fast food, and you can eat like burgers and ice cream and chips and stuff, and it doesn't matter, because then if you're going right into another 72-hour fast, at the end of the month you're still going to have lost a huge amount of weight. And that appealed to me because one of the problems that I had the first time I attempted intermittent fasting was I was only doing ADF, but I also was trying to keep keto, and I found the diet to be really boring, especially because I don't like cauliflower. And for anybody out there that has a ketogenic diet, cauliflower is a huge part of the keto diet. The cauliflower this, cauliflower that, cauliflower bread, cauliflower blah blah blah. And I don't like cauliflower, and I never will. And the other problem is another huge staple is avocado, and I don't like avocado. I hate avocado. And those are two. I sound like a picky eater, and I'm really not. I mean, how can you be a 400-pound guy and not be a picky eater? It's not easy. But I just don't happen to like either one of those vegetables, and they're a huge staple of the ketogenic diet. And so trying to come up with a menu that's ketogenic without avocado and cauliflower is not an easy thing. And I didn't like it. Like, it was a lot of protein, and that was fine. Like, I don't care, but like, I was eating bacon and eggs like it was going out of style when I was doing the ketogenic diet. But and here's Lucy making her first appearance. Hello, Lucy. How are you? Do you have anything you'd like to say? She's like the star of these videos. She needs to fast because she's huge, but she won't. She's very disagreeable. So anyways, yeah, when I was doing the ADF routine, I lost like a lot of weight, like 60 pounds, but I was keeping keto on my off days, and that was really difficult. So what I decided was, I had originally decided, I didn't know anything about the snake diet, and I didn't know anything about anything else. I just decided on my own. I made it up in my head. What if I did, instead of doing ADF, I did 2 days and then a day of eating, and then 2 days and a day of eating. And in my researching that plan, I found out that those were called either stacked fasts or rolling fasts. And when I Googled the rolling 60-hour fasts, that's when I discovered Cole Robinson and the Snake Diet, and that's when I also discovered Jerome and the Finally Fasting channel. And he was the guy that was doing like 90-hour fasts and then eating whatever the hell he wanted, and I'm talking like 7,000 calories of pie and all sorts of unhealthy stuff, but then just doing another 96. So I thought, well, I can do that. That I can do. So I'm just going to do 48. I'm going to do a 48, and then I'm going to eat whatever I want, and then do a 48 and eat whatever I want. And I thought that's what I'm going to try. And what I discovered was, once again, much like the 72-hour fast kind of evolved into the 88 because of I stopped eating at night. The 48 hour became 60-hour fast because I would stop eating at like 10, and I didn't want to break my fast that late at night and that close to bed. So what I did was I would finish the 48. I would wait until bedtime, and then I would get up, and then the next afternoon I would start eating in the afternoon. So for the entire month of November, I did the rotating 60-hour fasts. What I would do was I would eat whatever I wanted. And then I thought, okay, I'll try this and see if I lost weight. And I did. Like I said, I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. So I fasted for the month of November. I fasted 20 days and ate 10, not consecutively, obviously. But so you don't eat for 20 days, you're going to lose weight regardless of what you're eating on the 10 days that you do eat. And that's what happened with me. So I was very happy with that. And so I decided to take it into the next month, the month of December. So I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to do a 72-hour fast, which turned into the 88-hour fast, and then I'm going to eat whatever I want, and then I'm going to do another 88. So that's what I've done. Here's the problem. I'm finding that the longer I go doing these extended fasts, the fasts aren't the problem. The refeeding days are becoming the problem. I'll give you yesterday because it's fresh in my mind of what I did for my refeed. 2 o'clock exactly, I started off with a little bowl of a handful of cherry tomatoes, a handful of baby carrots, and a handful of chopped celery with some spinach dip, like the Tostitos spinach dip. So I know that stuff's not good, and it's probably got a whole bunch of sugar or whatever, but once again, you're eating whatever you want on your eating days, right? So but I wanted to have vegetables because it's break your fast with vegetables. It's generally a good idea. So I ate my tomatoes and my carrots and my celery, and then I had the spinach dip and stuff, and I finished that off, and then I transitioned into a nice big, like 600-gram Caesar salad with bacon, real bacon, not bacon bits, like actual bacon on top, and chicken, so grilled chicken. So I ate that. I was stuffed by the end of the salad and the vegetables. I was stuffed to the gills. So here's point number one. A lot of people doing these rolling fasts, the minute they get stuffed, they stop. That's it. They'll stop the clock and say, okay, well, I'm done eating now, and start another 72 or 88 hours. I don't do that for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm kind of, and I know, once again, Cole Robinson really does not like this attitude, but my attitude is I'm almost like refilling my tank to give me the energy for the next 88 hours. And I don't think a salad's good enough. Like, I'm afraid that I'll start getting really, really not even hungry, because you're gonna get hungry. Like, that's just the way it is. Say bye, Lucy. Bye. Guys, leave her alone. You're gonna get hungry, but I was afraid I wouldn't have enough energy. Like, I kind of need the energy from the food that I did eat to kind of help me get through. So I took a break for like an hour or 2 hours. I just watched TV, whatever. I had Dare, which is probably not a company that's in the States, I don't know, but they make these really delicious veggie crisps, which are basically, let's not kid ourselves, those are like a product that's made to sound like the name is to make you feel like you're eating something nutritious when you're really not. But they're basically chips or crackers. Like, let's not kid ourselves. But they give you a bag, which once again, like modern packaging, you're actually getting about a third or half, a quarter of a bag of these crisps. They're very, very salty, and of course, after doing an 88-hour fast, even using the potassium and sodium supplements, you're still going to feel really salt deprived. So those are great. So I ate a bag of those, and then I took a break. Obviously, I had some cookies. I had a handful of cookies, and then I did not eat again until around 9 o'clock. I started making myself some food. So I ate a big package of Butterball turkey bacon, an entire package of the bacon, and I had 6 scrambled eggs, and I had a kielbasa sausage, which I chopped up, and I ate that. So I did some math, and the calories probably came in at around, conservatively, 3,500 calories, maybe 4,000 calories. Certainly nowhere near what some people eat. I mean, I think healthy people are supposed to eat 2,000 calories a day or whatever, but the other thing is too, like, I know Jerome from Finally Fasting, he was doing like 6,000 to 7,000 calorie refeeds between his rolling fasts. Now he was doing like 90-hour fasts. I just honestly, and here's the thing, this is the weird part. The longer I get into this process, I can't eat that much. Like, I can't, like, the more I do these long fasts, when I have my refeed days, my ability to consume large amounts of food is really getting less and less, right? Like, I honestly, if I could do yesterday over again, I would still eat the veggies and the salad to break my fast. That's absolute. I probably still do the crackers because, like I said, they were salty and they're not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'm not going to do the keto thing again, or at least not right now. I probably should have skipped the cookies, right? And I had too much for my refeed, my main meal that I had, which was the bacon and eggs. And the kielbasa. I definitely didn't need the kielbasa. And I didn't eat the whole thing. Like, I had an entire kielbasa and I ate like maybe half of it, and I just put the rest in the fridge and I give it to my roommate, right? But I probably, if I had to do that again, I'm going to have to do it differently. I'm going to have to reconsider. And it's not the amount of calories on these refeeds. I'm not going to get all that hung up on that. One of the big issues is I'm really looking forward to the end of the month when I do my weigh-in. Right? Because, like I said, Jerome strongly feels that you can eat pretty much whatever on your refeed days. Like, eat till you're totally full, but then you fast for a long time, you're still going to lose weight. And even though Cole Robinson has changed his tune over the years, like he originally did the whole eat junk food and still lose weight video, where he talked about how if you even go to Harvey's or Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever on your eating day, if you do a 72-hour fast after that, you're still going to lose weight. And I believe that. I think that probably what I need to do is adjust my refeeds, because I can't eat as much as I used to. And the other thing is too that I'm finding the first day of my fasts are getting really uncomfortable because I'm getting a lot of indigestion and stuff. Let's be honest, like I said, if you go 88 hours without eating, your stomach's going to give you a hard time. I don't care what you do. I honestly definitely believe that the snake juice helped. Like, I believe consuming the snake juice during my fast this time kept my sodium levels up so that it wasn't as huge of a shock to my system when I did a refeed this time, and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do the first 24 hours without snake juice. Last extended fast I did, the first 24 hours, when I did the 88-hour fast, the first 24 hours I did a dry fast. And I'm not going to do that this time because I'm already feeling very dehydrated today. Like, my mouth is very dry, so I've already had a bottle of water today. I'm not going to overdo it, but I'm not going to do a dry fast today. I'm going to stick to water today, and then tomorrow I'm going to bust out the snake juice. I'll drink some of that tomorrow. But my thinking ahead to my next refeed is I think I need to definitely I need to consider what I am eating and how much I'm eating for two reasons. Like I said, I'm half-assed tempted to just continue as is right now for the month of December. and see how much weight I lose in December, right? I don't think I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days again. I think that's too much to ask. I think that because that'll be 60 pounds lost in 2 months, and even for a guy that was 400 pounds, that's a hell of a lot, especially considering the amount of time that I've been doing this, right? Like that just doesn't seem like it's realistic. I don't. That's not my goal. My goal is, let's see here, worst case scenario. So I'm 372 right now. So absolute best case scenario would be that I lost another 30 pounds, which would put me at 342, which is almost inconceivable to me that I can do that again. I don't think that's going to happen. I would be very happy to lose 20 pounds, right? So basically, if I weigh myself at the end of December and I'm like 350, 355, I'd be very, very happy with that. And the very least that I want to lose is, I mean, you know, the old school attitude of you can lose a pound a week, or was it 3 to 5 pounds a week, right? So let's say I lose, no, still then, right? That should mean, like, let's say I lose 15. 15 is the least I would want to lose. If I don't lose more, like at least 15 pounds, I would consider this to be not going the way I want it to. So that would be like basically 357. So let's call that like, so I'll consider like the absolute miraculous amount. If I could hit 342, that would be beyond awesome. Like you can't complain about that. I'm not even going to expect that. If I hit the 350 range, that's good. That's what I should probably realistically hope to get. And if I get the 360 range, then that's not great, because that means my weight loss will have slowed down. But I'm curious to see where I end up landing at the end of December, because that could determine how I end up doing this from now on, right? But I am considering changing my game up before the end of the month. Like I'm considering even not giving it another month and continuing. I'm considering really changing my refeed days and adjusting as I go. It's funny, when I watch Jerome's videos, and even Cole Robinson always says, you know, you don't get married to your routine. Like if you find something that works, good, but don't say, well, this is what I'm doing. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, like I started off doing 60 and then 12-hour eat, and then 60 and a 12-hour eat. So that's what I'm doing from now on, because I switched it, right? I went from 60 to 12-hour eat to 88 and a 8-hour eat, and now I'm thinking of even switching it up even more in two ways. Number one, I think I'm probably going to shorten my eating window even more to less than 8 hours, but also I think I really need to adjust what I'm eating. I'm going to try and cut out a lot of the crap, like no more ice cream and cookies and stuff like that. And also my meal, I need to be careful, because the first day after my refeed, I'm generally, like I said, I'm getting a lot of indigestion. Like I'm feeling gross, and like I actually look forward to the second day of my 72 or my 60-hour fast, because it's like I know my stomach will be totally empty. I'll definitely be in ketosis, and I will be starting to experience autophagy, but also my system will be empty and I'll feel better. Which is bizarre. Like never in a billion years would I have ever predicted that, hey, listen, you know what, I'll feel better when I fast than on days that I eat. But I don't. Like last night I felt kind of gross. Again, I felt kind of like, even though I knew this is what I was going to do, I was going to stuff my face on my refeed day. I felt kind of, I wish I had done that, you know what I mean? And not necessarily shame, because I have a huge sense of accomplishment having just pulled off an 88-hour fast. That's nothing wrong there, but. And I'm not saying, like I said, even if I did continue this for the whole month, just did instead of 60-hour fast, doing 88s or 72s and a refeed day, an 8 to 12-hour refeed day, I'm pretty sure I'm still going to lose quite a bit of weight. I'm very curious to see how that goes. I'm tempted to weigh myself, but I'm not gonna get caught in that trap again of living and dying by the numbers on the scale right off the bat, because I'm experiencing so many other benefits, like health benefits, right? Like I feel so much better. Like my skin is, not that my skin was bad, but my skin is cleared up to the point where it's great. You know, I have my back pain, like it's gone. My back pain that I had, like that sciatica, that compressed sciatic nerve, is totally gone. My arthritis is like 1,000,000 times better. Like I've cut back on my arthritis painkillers hugely already, and this is within the first 5 weeks. right? So these are all things that I did. These are benefits that don't have anything to do with what they have to do with weight loss, because I think my back and my arthritis is better because I don't weigh as much. But anyways, so, and here's the other issue. Well, how much time do we have left? 10 minutes or so. The big X factor here is Christmas. I don't know if you're all aware, but at the end of the December, there's holiday Christmas, and there's a lot of eating involved. I have a important get-together here in my building on the 24th, where we have a Christmas dinner for people that live here that do not have any family. So it's kind of an important thing. For those who do not have anywhere else to go on Christmas Eve, we have a big feast here. And I'm definitely not going to skip that or say, oh, well, I'm fasting, so I can't, you guys go ahead. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I know there are some hardcore fasters who would, show up with a bottle of snake juice or whatever. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, these are the things that, I'm fasting to improve my life, and the things that make your life worth living are things like this event on the 24th. So I'm not going to, it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm not gonna rob myself of that social event for the sake of 3 pounds or whatever. So I'm gonna do the 24th. I'm gonna be at that party on the 24th, and then the 25th I'll be seeing my parents. My parents are both elderly. They're in their 80s. I love them dearly. I would cherish every moment I have with them and stuff. So once again, I'm not gonna go to my parents' house on Christmas Day and say, well, I ate yesterday and I got this snake juice, whatever. No, I'm gonna eat. This will be the first time that I ate 2 consecutive days. It will have been in 2 months at that point. But I have to consider how that affects my schedule, and I have to consider what does that mean moving forward, right? So what I've done is I've actually got a calendar, and I've mapped out how many fasts that I have up between now and then. And I'm still tinkering with it. So the fast that I'm on now is an 88. And then the next one I'm going to do after that is also an 88. And then I think I might have to do a couple 64s, just because in order to make it so that I make it to the 24th without totally screwing up my schedule. So I'll do a double eat, so 24, 25, and then I can roll right back into the 88s. So it's difficult for me. Once again, for 24 and 25, I already know what I'm eating on those days, right? I'm going to eat salad in the morning because I need to re-kick my metabolism into gear, or at least on the 24th. And kind of get my body back in gear. I'm not going to sit there and not eat for 8 hours and then start eating turkey right off the bat. I can already tell you that's not going to be a good idea. Turkey doesn't agree with me under the best of circumstances. So I love it. It's delicious, but it's generally kind of upsets my stomach a little bit, right? So that's the plan as of now. I'm going to stick with the 88s up until the week before the holidays, and then I'm going to have no choice but to transition to the 64s. So it's very important that I adjust those refeeds, because I don't want to overindulge on my refeed days there and then end up not getting the full benefit of a 72 or an 88 hour fast to burn off what I did. Now, once again, that's what I did last month. So it's not like, okay, well, how can I possibly live with myself if I only fast 64 hours and then I eat? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, like I said, I don't want to live and die by the scale. I don't. And when I transitioned into January, I got my birthday in January. I'm turning 52. But aside from that, and even then, I don't really have any big plans socially or whatever. I don't really. There's not a lot going on for me. I've got friends and stuff, and then we might get together or whatever. But I'll try and schedule that around my refeed. So I'll make sure that when we get together, it'll be on a day that I was eating anyways. But for example, if they get me a cake or whatever, we have cake, I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm not doing that. But conversely, I'm not gonna where I fell down last time was I was doing the 80F, and then the social event would fall on the day between my 2 80Fs, so I would end up eating 3 days in a row, and I found it really easy to fall off the horse. I think with these rotating longer, rolling long fasts, it probably will be harder for that to happen to me, right? But anyways, so the key takeaway from this video is that I think changes need to be made in my refeeding. I need to shorten the window even more, and I need to be more mindful of what I'm eating. But the great thing is that the reason this has been brought on, this decision has been made, is not just because of how I emotionally am reacting, but because of how I'm physically reacting. And that reaction is my body's changing. So if there was a message I could, after 25 minutes of rambling, if there was a message I could give anybody that ever sees this video who is planning on these, like let's say you're watching this and you've never done rolling fast and you're wondering whether you should or you shouldn't, whatever, I will tell you, hand on heart, I've been doing this now for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, probably 6 weeks now, I guess, because there's 5 weeks in November technically, so whatever. 6 weeks, let's say 6 weeks, okay? I've been doing this for 6 weeks, and already I've lost over 30 pounds, and I can't eat as much as I used to, all right? So my body just isn't capable of binge eating anymore. I can't binge eat to the level that I used to, because my body just won't handle it. My body doesn't accept that much food anymore. So that's very encouraging. My body's dictating to me how I do this routine, but my body's basically saying, listen, you can't eat that much anymore, and we're not going to take any more food. Which the other added bonus on top of all that is it's really affecting my psychological relationship with food. I think I mentioned in one of my very first videos here that when I was so messed up mentally when I started this process that I could not, eating was so ingrained with me, and comfort, like comfort food and comfort eating, that I couldn't relax and I couldn't enjoy myself and I couldn't make myself feel better if I wasn't eating. And I've pretty much already in 6 weeks smashed that vicious cycle that's beaten to death, because now I can relax and I don't need to eat to make myself feel better. As a matter of fact, like I said, I'm getting to the point where it's becoming the opposite, and I'm hardly worried about becoming anorexic, but the exact opposite has happened, where I have to be careful, like when I eat, like I almost don't want to eat, not because I don't need it to. Food doesn't determine my emotions anymore. Like food doesn't comfort me. Food doesn't make me feel good. Like yes, if I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie, I'd much rather eat something or watch a good TV show. I enjoy eating, but I don't have to have one to do the other. Number one, and number two, eating too much will now make me feel ill, whereas before I seemed to have no end to my ability to just constantly consume food to the point where it was killing me and I just couldn't stop. And that cycle seems to have been broken. So these are more, it's like the whole thing I mentioned in one of my previous videos is like I never had bad skin, right? But I noticed once I started doing these long fasts that my skin got very glowing and this perfect, no oil at all. I never expected that. That wasn't why I got into this. I had a rash that's been coming and going for the last few years, and that just vanished. Never expected that. That wasn't why I got into this. I have asthma, and I have not had to use my inhaler for the whole time this has been going on. Whether it's because there's not as much pressure on my respiratory system because I'm no longer 400 pounds, or because I don't know, maybe the autophagy effect is it kills inflammation in your system. That's why I was doing it for my back and my arthritis. So maybe it's doing the same thing for my lungs, right? I wasn't expecting that. So there are all sorts of benefits to this. So the whole idea that, you know, this is going to be miserable hell, you're going to be in agony and hate it, but you have to do it. There's a little bit of truth to that, but the other side that you don't ever hear about these extended fasts is actually there's all sorts of benefits that you never expected, and that in the end you end up feeling better. Because I can tell you right now, without not lying at all, no fear of exaggeration, I feel so much better now than I did just 6 weeks ago, right? Like you compare me today to me on November 1st, it's night and day. And that's all thanks to these rolling fasts. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about it, I say yes, but the one key piece of advice I would say, I'll tell you, the point of this video was unexpected benefits. You're going to feel better, but don't start with 88s or whatever. You got to work your way up and adjust. You'll find the more you do, the more you're able to do. So let's see where I get. Like I said, we'll see how I feel at the end of the month. But until next time, I want to talk about, at one point I want to do a little video and talk about autophagy, because that's one of the main reasons that I undertook this process, was for autophagy and the medical benefits of autophagy. But for right now, I am all done, so I will talk to you later.